Hello guys and welcome to the Avon couple. Well, you know my name's Fred Mason. I'm just going to ask Karen to tell you a little bit about herself
But
because...
before we do,
Oh, here we go. We're being interrupted already.
you couldn't say live, love and lipstick.
Right, yeah, go on.
Yeah, I think we should change that because we had such a laugh yesterday in doing this. So I think we should change it to laugh, love and lipstick. What do you reckon?
Yeah, that sounds better.
It sounds miles better, doesn't it?
So what was it? Lip, life and... Oh, see what? I can't even do it now.
No, love, no.
Ah, gotcha.
So we're changing it to laugh, love and lipstick.
Laugh, love and lipstick.
Because a good laugh, love and a bit of lipstick can brighten any day.
All right, okay, right. So that's going to be the strap line,
Yes.
is it? Right, okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. But as I was going to say before I was rudely interrupted, which you're going to find, ladies and gentlemen, this happens day in, day out. And I didn't clap this time.
No,
so
you didn't.
There you go. Right, so just to get a little bit of clarity, some of you already know me as Avon Man UK. And if you don't, pop over to Avon Man UK and listen to all the podcasts I've done. And you'll get to know me very well because I do talk a little bit about myself. But
You do talk.
I do like to talk. Yeah, that's why we do podcasts, because I like to talk and I know you do, but you're just a little bit shy. But what I'd like you to do, Karen, if you don't mind, is tell the listeners just a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your life, as well as about Avon, because people who join Avon come from all different backgrounds, different races, different lifestyles.
That's true. That's very true.
Okay, over to you then, Karen.
Well, I suppose in a way, if I look back at my life, I had, like at school, you have dreams of what you want to be, where you want to go, what sort of jobs you want to have. So for me, it was more like travelling, have a house, have a car or a family or something like that. But I actually liked all three. I didn't want to just have a house. I didn't want to have a car. I wanted
So
to have...
you didn't want to be normal.
I'm not normal, you know me.
Well, I know that, but what I mean is so many people think there is like a set life that they have to have when they're young.
Yeah, that you go into, like, I felt as if I was a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just didn't fit because I wanted to be something and I felt as if I needed to get out there and do it. So,
ladies and gentlemen, if you can see what Karen's doing now,
I talk with my hands.
She talks with her hands. She's playing with her hair, waving her arms around.
I talked with my hands. That's when I'm nervous. But so going back to school, first of all, I wanted to be an accountant.
That's a bit of a numbers game, isn't it?
It is very much so because I liked figures. I liked messing around with figures and adding up. I loved maths at school. I wasn't very good at English, but I was very good at drama. So I had, when I was at school, in my secondary school, I had a poem published. I had, what else did I have? I wrote in our drama section, me and my friend, we wrote a play. It was my idea, we put it together, then we did all the costumes and it was about safety in the home. And we actually won that competition. And is it Phil Daniels or the guy who did...
Well, it's not Paul Daniels because he's a magician. He'd have made that disappear, wouldn't he?
No, it wasn't him. And then he went on to EastEnders. It was the guy from... anyway, one of the film stars. And he came and presented the award. And I never forgot that feeling of being successful in something, you know. So I sort of like fell into banking and went to because I couldn't do accountancy, we couldn't get the exams and what
Stop
have you.
waffling, woman.
So I went into banking and sort of fell into training really, and teaching people and supporting people. And you know, I absolutely loved that. Absolutely loved it. And by the time I was sort of 25, 26, I'd started travelling to see customers and training them on our internal computer systems. So I got this bug of, by that time I'd had a house, I'd got a car, and that was the travelling side of it. But then we went global. I went to another company who was dealing with global banks, and I travelled all over the world. I'm very fortunate to have that position where I could go to places like China and Hong Kong, South Korea, Panama, America, Europe, Russia.
I was going to say you went to Russia as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Uzbekistan. That's to learn different cultures, and even some of my courses that we did, our training courses, were translated. And I remember getting really worried about being translated, that they were doing it right. So here's a Karenism for you.
One of first of many, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there being translated, and I thought, I wonder if he's translating me correctly, because he was actually reading a newspaper at the time. And I thought, this is really weird. So, because I was doing a report and showing them how to produce a report, it had to be in line. So you know when you get a bank statement through the post, well, we don't now because it's all paperless, but everything had to be in line. So I said, you know, if you don't do it right, it will come out all higgledy-piggledy. Now that's a word you don't hear very often, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. We do with you. That's because everything is higgledy-piggledy.
So he translated it, and he was talking, and then he went, excuse me, what is this higgledy-piggledy? And then I knew he was translating me correctly. So I had a really, really fortunate jobs where I travelled, went to Canada, all over, basically.
Well, that's where we get on so well, because I mean, I love travelling as well, and as most of the listeners know, within the army I travelled most of the world but never saw anything, whereas you've travelled the world and actually had a chance to have a look at some of the places.
Yeah, absolutely, because sometimes I was over, 2 weeks, so the weekends I was off touring.
Yeah. Can you remember the very first time we went away anywhere?
Yes, yeah.
Can you remember exactly how nervous I was?
Oh, it was. I thought to myself, do I do 2 weeks? Do we book 7 days? Now, for me, 7 days is not long enough. 14 was too long for you.
Yeah,
I was thinking.
it was then. Yeah.
And so we went 10 days, didn't we?
Yep.
To Mallorca.
Yep. And what happened after the 10 days?
Well, I've never seen somebody change so much. My goodness. To try and get him on the plane this end to go on holiday was like, oh, I don't know if I could do this. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to like this. To get him on the holiday, coming back from the holiday. No, can we stay? Can we stay another week?
Get me on the holiday. So you're starting already. Get me on the plane to come back.
Oh, yeah, get me on the plane to come back. You didn't want to come back,
No, I
did
didn't.
you?
No, I didn't.
He was quite happy if we'd been marooned for a month.
But there was a massive reason for that. It's because I'd travelled, and I mean, I love travelling. I love air flight. I love anything to do with getting on a helicopter, a plane, to go anywhere, or ship, or anything. I love that. But when we got there, we had such a good time, and it wasn't a good time because of anything other than the fact that the two of us just went off and did things that probably I'd never even dream of doing.
I think also for that holiday, it was the first time that we really, the first time we really, really had time for each other.
Yeah.
There was no interference, outside interference.
No.
And I think that's always what is great, that we do put aside time to just be me and you.
Yeah, but now we got more time because
Absolutely.
of what Avon's given us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, the trips we've both been on with Avon. Tell the viewer or the listeners just a little bit about some of the things that you've achieved, Karen, in Avon. And we've only been in it for 5 years.
Well,
I was just going to say, some of the places we've been, people couldn't do that in a lifetime.
No, that's true. Well, some of the places I've been to work.
Oh yeah, well, tell me
you
about
couldn't
it.
do in a lifetime, because it was more cities than touristy areas. So, okay, where have I been? Budapest.
I was going to say, we had joined Avon 5 years ago.
And in 5 years...
No, in the first few months.
In the first few months, I hit my first promotional level as a sales leader. And I did that within a month.
Yep.
And they were amazed because normally it would take somebody a year to do that.
Yep.
So that was amazing. So in the first few months, what did I qualify for? Budapest.
Yeah.
And that was amazing to be taken away, not paying for anything, and seeing Budapest as a different aspect because I'd been there for work.
Yeah.
But to see it as a tourist, I'd never gone back. I loved it. I've never gone back as a tourist. So that was amazing.
Why didn't you go back as a tourist though, Karen?
Because I wanted to take you.
Yeah, but there is another reason, isn't there? Finance.
Well, that's
because
true.
because we weren't in a position to
Well, that's
say,
it.
well, just drop everything and go and do it.
Because I wanted to take you, and to do it, that's a double expense really, because
Yeah.
you've got 2 lots of plane tickets
Yeah, yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I went there. I went to Warsaw.
Warsaw, yeah.
Warsaw.
In Poland, love,
In
not the one near
Poland,
Birmingham.
yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I know. Go on, tell them. You might as well.
I went with work to Warsaw near Birmingham, and because of the way I say things, I thought it was Warsaw in Poland. So I went into work with my passport and my suitcase, saying, right, I'm ready. Where are we getting the flight? And they just laughed at me, thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, I would have done too, I think.
Yeah, so a little bit of a Karenism coming out there. So, so I've been to Warsaw in Poland. That was amazing.
Well, I came with you on
you
that one
came
because I
with
qualified
me,
for it as well.
And do you know that was amazing? Do you know that limousine?
Oh, yeah.
My goodness, a
Yeah.
stretch limo.
Yeah.
They thought we were film stars. So anyway, there. Where else have I been?
San Francisco.
San Francisco, Las Vegas. San Francisco was always on my list to go and see Alcatraz as a place. You know, you have these sort of like bucket lists that you want to go
Yeah,
to.
I know, because that's one of the places I've always wanted to go, and all I got was pictures of you being there.
Yeah, but I
'Cause
can
I
tell
didn't-
you,
'cause
so
I
you
didn't-
don't have to
yeah,
go.
I
You
didn't-
can just experience
I
it
didn't
if I tell
qualify
you.
though, did I?
No, you didn't. Alcatraz was on my list. That's a tick. Then I wanted to see the Grand Canyon. Went to Las Vegas, saw the Grand Canyon. That's another tick. And do you know, this is something that I found is...
Did you pay for any of this?
No, I didn't pay for anything.
Okay, so this was
Actually,
through
I
Avon.
did. I got up early in the morning on San Francisco and went to find a coffee shop and bought a coffee. I think that's the only thing I paid for.
Crazy, isn't it?
Isn't it?
And then where did we both end up going?
And then we both qualified with Avon itself with Canada.
Yeah, we both went to Canada. Being taken to Canada was
and that was amazing.
flipping amazing.
I'd been to Canada with work, so I took myself off for a helicopter ride over the Niagara Falls. And did that all on my own, and just said to Fred, if we ever get an opportunity to go, that's what we should do. So all the other trips that I just mentioned before Canada was paid by our team, a great couple called Howard and Jane Philpott.
You missed out the best trip.
So that was that, just for the minute.
Oh, okay.
And then when Canada came up with Avon, both me and Fred said, let's qualify for Canada. So what's the best bit?
Well, the best trip was Bangkok and Dubai.
Well, I haven't come to that yet.
I know you haven't.
I'm going through the year.
But I just can't. Well, I can believe it because we've done it.
So this was in 1 year. So
Yeah.
last year with Avon, whether it be with Howard and Jane, who are an amazing couple,
Yep.
or with Avon, I qualified for San Francisco and Las Vegas.
Yep.
Then we both qualified for Canada.
Yep.
And then we qualified to go to Bangkok and Dubai.
Unbelievable.
So,
Absolutely
since you was a
unbelievable.
kid, where was the one place that you wanted to go?
Oh, the thing was, it was in the back of my mind, and I can remember that we had the privilege to present for Jane and Howard at one of the Achievers meetings. We actually had the privilege to introduce one of their incentives, and they wouldn't tell us where the incentive was, and just said, when you click this button, a video will play, and then the name of the destination will come up.
Yes.
And it still makes me go cold in the fact that when we hit the button and the video played, everyone was going, oh, where is it, where is it, where is it? And then the word Bangkok came up on the screen. And I was due to then say, and it's Bangkok, to all the audience. And if you can remember rightly, I just nearly collapsed, sat down and said, you better say it, because I couldn't.
I've never seen you that emotional other than our wedding.
I don't think I've ever been that emotional, to be totally honest. And the reason for that was, at my age, I thought, well, I didn't think anything at the time. At the time, I just thought, oh my, giddy aunt. I can remember my father, when I was about age 7 or 8, I suppose, I think it must have been 7, saying to me, do you know what, son, if you go anywhere in the world, go to Bangkok. And I didn't, even to this day, I still didn't understand why he meant that. But what it turned out to be was the fact that he'd served out there with the RAF police doing the repatriation of all the Japanese soldiers after the war. And he travelled, and this is something we actually got to do, he travelled through the canals from the main airport in Bangkok, which it was then, which was an RAF base, into the centre of Bangkok, and that's how they used to travel, because the roads were absolutely shot to bits.
Yeah.
And we travelled those canals, and that was the most emotional trip I think I've ever been on in my life.
Yeah.
And the thing was, that had been sitting in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
I never told you, and I never told
No,
anybody
you
else,
didn't.
purely
No.
because it was just a memory that I didn't think would ever happen.
No.
And Jane and Howard laid on that trip and allowed me to go.
Yeah.
And
then to go to Dubai as well.
When we flew to Dubai afterwards,
Amazing.
and then we met the magical Fraser Brooks
Yes.
at a dinner.
Yes.
If and when you get into network marketing, guys, you'll know about Fraser Brooks, because he is only a young guy. He's 38, and he has made so much of his life through this business. It's awesome.
Do you know, I think that's what I love about this, because we're both trainers by background.
Yeah.
So we love training, supporting people.
Absolutely, yeah.
I love travelling. I think you've got the travel bug
I
now.
love travelling. Yeah.
So you've got the
I
travel
love it.
bug now. And we don't have to ask a boss, can we have time off?
Yeah, my listeners hear that all the time. I keep saying, we don't have to worry about it. We are the bosses.
Exactly.
Oh, go on.
Exactly. And that's why this year we've decided. Fred's got his own team in Avon, and
I was just going to say, tell them the exciting news.
And I've got my own team. And what we've decided to do, hence why Fred was Avon Man UK, what we've decided to do is this month we are joining forces and becoming a partnership in Avon. So we're joining our two teams together.
And we're going to be called...
And we're going to be called...
The Avon Couple.
Which is where this podcast has come. So that's enough about me, I think, for the time being, don't you?
I do. I love hearing your story, even though I know it. And there's always little snippets of places you've been and things that you've come out. And the listeners are definitely going to hear this, because there's some quirky things you've done, quirky places you've been, and some of the things you've seen from different cultures. It really opens your eyes up to what we have, not only in England or living in this country, but what privileges we've got by being able to travel the world with Avon.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it really does open your eyes to what's out there, doesn't it?
And what I love is, it's Monday morning, right? We have no Monday morning blues, I've got to go to
I
work.
love getting up.
We don't, do we? We don't have that sinking feeling on a Sunday night that we've got to get up to work. I used to feel that sometimes.
Yeah.
But I found if you love what you do, it's not work.
You never have to work a day in your life.
No, exactly. Even when you're working, you know, in the corporate industry
Oh,
or wherever,
don't.
if you love what you're doing, it's not work.
No.
And you just put every effort into it.
Yeah.
So if you're out there listening to this thinking, I'm not really happy in my job, go and find a job that you do like.
Come and join us at
Or
Avon.
come and join us at Avon. It's easy.
We love to put the fun and laughter into this, hence the
Absolutely.
strap line.
Yeah, absolutely. So
But-
what is our strap line again?
Do you know what? I'm going to let you say it because I keep forgetting it and I keep going back to the old one that we started.
What are you like?
Oh, I'm terrible. That's what I'm like.
Laugh, love and lipstick.
Yeah,
Because a good laugh, love and
yeah.
a bit of lipstick can brighten any day.
there you go. So, guys, I've got to go out now because it's 8:30 and I've got my first delivery at 9 o'clock from a lady that phoned us yesterday and said, "Are you the Avon people?" I said, "Yes." She said, "I wonder if I could get some Skin So Soft from you."
Yeah.
And believe it or not, we always keep a little bit in stock anyway. And when I told her I could deliver this morning at 9 o'clock, she couldn't believe the service.
She was amazed.
Don't know who she is, never met her
No.
before, but it looks like she's going to be a new customer.
But it is one of our best sellers.
Yeah, well, Skin So Soft is, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, guys, it's coming up to about 8:30, I think, quarter to 9, something like that. We're going to leave you here now, and we're going to pop back on and add some more to this one for today because we're out doing stuff today, and we're going to tell you a little bit more about it. So, bear with us, and we'll speak to you later. Kaz,
Bye for now.
bye for now.